Hello everyone and welcome back to Satisfactory. In the last episode, we were able to decorate up quite a bit of our main base here, getting a little bit of polish on the side of our building. But in this episode, there's a little bit of a chill in the air. There's something going on in the sky, as well as there's just something about the season. Yep, that's right. It's Ficsmas time. Oh, Ficsmas, the seasonal event that everyone loves or hates if you're a Grinch. So we're going to quickly go over what Ficsmas is all about. So if that is something that you're excited to see, well, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't, and let's jump in to Ficsmas. Now, whether you're a Scrooge or a Grinch, it really doesn't matter. Automating Ficsmas is definitely high on this Santa Claus's list of things to do. The main thing is you go around picking up all these gifts that fall to the ground or fall on top of our mega base here, and you'll have to collect quite a few of them to get everything started. So let's start with this one.
Congratulations, you have found your first Ficsmas gift package, which is, naturally, full of gifts, the basic part necessary for most Ficsmas seasonal event activities. Don't forget to check the calendar or the map to see what you can do with these gifts. Or do forget, I don't care.
Gosh, Ada, you're always so salty, and I do love it. Now, as far as the holiday event thing goes, I think I covered it up with this wall, so we'll remove it for now, and we can go up to the seasonal calendar that is for Ficsmas.
Welcome to Ficsmas, an official Fix-It seasonal event, brought to you by official Fix-It Fun engineers. Ficsmas is based on a seasonal holiday popular in several cultures and religions, often seen as a winter holiday because no one actually cares about Australasia. The event is vetted to be 100% pioneer-appropriate fun and is not obligatory. Ficsmas enables many new distracting activities focused on building the giant Ficsmas tree. These activities involve the MAM, the Ficsmas calendar, and those abominations falling from the sky. There is more, but I don't care. In the interest of us all, I will tell you that Ficsmas has caused stress, lack of focus, general despair, and physical injury to many pioneers. It is the worst scoring event ever created by Fix-It, and has gotten backlash for its blatant cultural inappropriateness. So when you inevitably change your mind and decide to disable this event, you will have chosen humanity and kittens and puppies, you will have chosen truth and empathy, you will have made me proud.
Well, thank you for that astounding amount of confidence that you have in us, Ada. So here on the Ficsmas calendar, you have to search for all the hidden numbers around on the calendar, and going in order is probably the best we can do. Now, at the time of this recording, we're on the 19th of December, so we'll go as high as we can, and as far as I understand, we should be able to complete the Christmas tree. So first we need to find the number 1.
This data cartridge contains the Ficsmas MAM tree setup and will need to be fed into the MAM database to unlock its first 2 branches. If this seems convoluted and/or boring, and you wish to quit the event, I will understand.
Ada's a regular Scrooge, so these data cartridges are new to me. I've actually never experienced Ficsmas before. So let me find a few more of these numbers and see what things we get from the Ficsmas calendar. So as I said, we are on the 19th at the time of this recording, so I have gathered up all 19 items. If you happen to be missing one after all this, well, you can pause the video and look at them for yourself. Now, the items that we gathered are quite interesting. A lot of data cartridges here, some other things like power shards and tickets, but nuclear nobelisks? Oh my gosh, that's quite the Christmas gift. As well as we got screwed on a few of them, and we got a lump of coal. Well, Ficsmas really knows how to do it upright. We also got some other things like a trinket for our gun, a couple of different skins, and a couple of tapes for the boombox. We also got a hat for our pioneer, but we won't go into all that. And the reason is the first order of business is to go around and pick up as many presents as we can possibly find. Yes, you're right, Ada. It is ridiculous. Collecting all these up is kind of tedious.
Do we need that?
but we'll get as many as we possibly can. You just look for the shiny lights and hope for the best. So I won't bore you with the constant collection of different gifts. I'll go and collect up quite a few, and I'll meet you on the floor that we're going to do Ficsmas on. Because honestly, we're going to need a lot of presents to start all this off.
Whatever.
Alright, so I collected quite a few, but we're still not done. We'll have to collect more and more as time goes on, but I think it's time to get started and see what it is that we need to do. So a couple of things that we're going to have is the MAM. The MAM will allow us to research certain things in the Ficsmas holiday event. Now the first thing we'll have to do is probably get some candy canes, I think, is to get the bows, to get other things. So the Christmas tree base is already unlocked, so I'm thinking that here we should be able to place this Ficsmas tree, I don't know, I'm thinking somewhere around in this area. And we need branches for that. Okay, so how do we get branches? Is that in a constructor? I believe a constructor makes the branches. And it sure does. 10 gifts, 10 branches. Well, that's not too bad. So we'll make like a quick and dirty setup over here. Something that can get us all the things that we want to get out. We'll have one thing going specifically into 3 different constructors. Because we'll probably need those candy canes at some point, and I think bows would be another thing. They probably all take different kinds of amounts of presents, and as I've really never done the Ficsmas event before, there's a first time for everything. So we'll just let those presents go here, and we'll start off with a short belt, a small Mark 1 belt. That way we can split as we need to make all these Ficsmas gifts. And power. Okay, that's the next thing. Just like with all events and all things, it needs power, so we'll just, like I said, quick, dirty setup. We'll definitely have some clipping issues and head over here to our main power and get it all hooked up. Now, I did set that up with a summer sloop inside of there because I want to try to get these branches as quickly as possible. We will just go ahead and probably pull the rest of these presents out of here, just because I don't want to use all of them on one thing. We should have more than enough presents to get the branches hooked up. But in the meantime, while we wait for this, we're going to go ahead and go grab some iron and some copper. I know that we're going to need iron and copper because I kind of looked ahead a little bit and saw that iron and copper is needed for some of the later stuff. And we do have an iron and copper source real close. And by real close, I mean right down here on the edge of the base. We already had this copper line hooked up, and I had intentions of doing something else with it. But we also have this iron node here that's a 600 per minute. So it's a pure node that we've had just stationed over here to do other things with. I set up these small frame pillars here earlier just because I knew I was going to have this one day. So I think what we're going to do is just set this sucker right next to this and send it on up all the way to the Ficsmas floor. And just like that, in no time, we have iron and copper all the way up here. That's a pretty easy setup. So, like I said, we're just waiting for our branches. We still should have a little bit more time in the wait getting the branches. We'll pop in once all the branches are done and we're ready to put that tree up. And now we have our 100 branches and everything is ready to roll. I think, I don't know, we're gonna place this down and probably move it a little bit here and there, but I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of place it right here for now and see how this goes. It's official. Ficsmas has started. Look at our tree. Well, we can't select it, but all right, whatever. So, now that we have our tree completed, we need to do the other things. What would that be? We need to get candy cane basher? No, we need candy cane decor. So somehow we need to make candy canes. Now, how do we do candy canes? Oh, I didn't even see that. We unlock it by having enough branches to do the candy cane basher, and it unlocks the candy canes. Okay, so we need more branches. Fine. That means all we gotta do is just turn this machine back on until we get our 50 branches that we need to make the candy canes. Ugh, I'm already sick of this. Ada, you had it right all along. Okay, let's unlock these candy canes, start that research, and get it unlocked.
Candy canes are used to create several items. In this case, when combined with the Xeno Zapper, you will gain a piece of equipment perfect for use against anyone on my naughty list. Like whoever hard-coded and black-boxed this event.
Okay, Ada. All right, well, I hear your saltiness. So it's going to take 15 per 5. Okay, not a bad combination. So let's do the same thing we've been doing. I want to put sloops in here and power shards. That way we can utilize the very few Ficsmas gifts that we have. We'll go ahead and throw 56 of those suckers in there and try to get as many of those candy canes out as we possibly can, as quickly as we possibly can. I'm letting the branches to keep going because I'm pretty certain we'll need more branches, but we'll try to divide that up. Now, as we wait, I'll continue to go collect more and more presents and bring them back to the base and try to get this tree a little bit prettier in here. I'm thinking about designing something that makes it look like it belongs here, but haven't quite decided exactly how I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to put a hole in the roof and then put a light that shines down on it. And then maybe we'll encapsulate it in some glass and make it look like a little snow globe and throw some presents on the ground. I don't know, something like that. But with candy canes made, it allows us to unlock the bows at this point. So we'll go ahead and get that done as well.
Ficsmas bows can be crafted from gifts in the constructor and can be combined with candy canes to make the candy cane decoration. Unfortunately for us both, this is only the first of several decorations, and you have been encouraged to spend your time and effort on these precision-engineered fleeting moments of joy.
Fleeting indeed. So we'll do the same thing as we've been doing. Add the sloop, add the power shards, and we'll put about, 50 into this one to get it started. Hook it up to a box, and we'll just kind of let that roll. Now, with all the things kind of being unlocked as it is, I think it's time to just go on a little bit of an adventure, collecting up as many of those presents as we could possibly find right off the bat. We'll let some things just kind of stock up. And yeah, we're going to need a lot of everything. A lot of branches, a lot of bows, a lot of other things. So I think what I'm going to do now that I've got everything split off and the main things that I need, I'll go ahead and let these presents go wild between the 3 different things. And I'll go collect some more presents up. When I get back, we'll start talking about how we're going to make this floor full of Christmas joy. So we've been progressing pretty nicely and things are getting produced very well. I just have all of them now going into one storage container way over there. And we'll grab the things that we need out of it as we need it. And in the meantime, I went ahead and designed a nice little box for our tree to be in. Caution, Christmas is in this area. Oh, the Christmas joy is just oozing out of it. Yay, candy canes and all kinds of things. I did collect up quite a bit of presents as well, and we're going through them quite quickly. Now, if I remember seeing somewhere correctly, we should be able to automate our own presents in the very near future. And I think the trees produce about 15, if I read it correctly, presents per thing. And I made a whole spreadsheet just for Ficsmas. That way we can have exactly what we need automated and how many. And we're going to need a lot of trees because I plan on making at least 8 to 10 stars a minute. And the stars are the last thing that you create. There's quite a bit that goes into it. But we'll try to keep it neat and tidy and as concise as possible. So let's get started. And to get started, we're going to have to go ahead and progress the Christmas tree. So we've got the candy canes, we've got the bows, and now it's time to get the red ornaments.
The red and blue Ficsmas ornaments are produced from gifts, unsurprisingly, but this time in the smelter. Now I hope you listen to that, because I will not repeat it no matter how confusing this all is. Blame the original Fix-It Fun engineers. Most of them ended up in jail for various reasons. But do not worry, the event has since been vetted by the second generation of Fix-It Fun engineers, who were only sued.
Well, I'm sorry they got sued for so much fun. Now the addition to the Christmas tree on this part is just those candy canes on there. But as we're going to need presents, I think it's time to take out the rest of these from here. We'll limit how many that they get, as we're going to need them to make it in the smelter. Okay. So we'll put a couple smelters down in the meantime to make the red and blue ornaments. So we'll need a few of those just to progress ourselves through the tech tree. All right, so red and blue, huh? Well, we'll just probably split some stuff off of here and throw it back onto there, and it'll all go in and happy-go-lucky, right? Right. So in the meantime of everything, once we got the red and blue ornaments, we were able to get the Ficsmas tree. Now with the Ficsmas tree becomes really one of the first big things that I need to do, which is produce as many gifts as possible. And I have Ficsmas blueprints that I've already made up. I went upstairs to our main hub area and made a few blueprints. And this is what I've got. So we're waiting on a few branches and some other things to get these Ficsmas gifts going. Once we can produce our own Ficsmas gifts, we can really automate things, really get things moving. Now my plan is to make a lot of gifts. We're talking probably 90 Ficsmas trees to make as many gifts as we possibly can. And if it's 90 times 15, well, it's going to be about 480 belts. Now, the numbers don't really matter too much. I'm kind of overproducing for the most part. And that way we can get to our 8. I decided on 8 stars for our end result. Now, with all that said, it's pretty much going to fill this entire floor up with all kinds of different constructors, assemblers, foundries, and other things. And lots of Christmas trees. Lots and lots. I'm thinking all of the Christmas trees are going to go here. That way we can bring down all the gifts and produce all the things from the gifts in this area. Once that's done, we can bring everything over here to produce the final items in the foundries, I believe it is, and assemblers. And then have all of our Ficsmas stars right here at the end, or something to that effect. I don't have it all planned out perfectly because I don't know how many machines we need exactly, or how much space all those machines are going to take up. I'm sure that this will probably be popped in a few times, because it'll be significant. My spreadsheet does have a rough estimate, but I can change the numbers because it isn't precise at this point. But for now, I just need to lay down a few of these Christmas trees. All right, so our first set of trees is done and completed. And that feeds into more smelters and constructors to make more branches and ornaments, because that's what we need to make more trees. And we need to do this 2 more times. Yeah, at least 2 more times. It's going to be quite a task getting all that done. But we're collecting quite a few branches and ornaments as we speak. The blue is produced a little bit faster than the red, so overall we'll probably eventually need more red than we will blue. But we need to let those collect up for a bit. And in the meantime, what I'm thinking about doing is continuing with our constructors over here, making all of our branches up here. I'm going to have this whole wall dedicated to branches and this whole wall dedicated to candy canes. Probably something else in the middle, like the ornaments. But to do that, well, it's going to be kind of a task. And what I mean by it's going to be a task is making sure that we have enough space to do all the logistics sides of things right here, as well as get enough of these. Because according to my spreadsheet, I need 30 constructors making branches. Now, this right here is somewhere in the range of about 13. So it does mean that we're going to have to go up a level. That's always a good time. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is probably go about right here with another floor. But I don't want to go that high. That way I can make sure that I can get all of them squeezed in here appropriately. But I don't want clipping. So what we'll probably have to do is lay some 1-meter foundations in about the spot that I want it to be, and zoop that on out, and then do it again, something to that effect. That way they have 3 of them, and I can do 10 on each floor, and then I can have all the splitters in the background and have them all merge into one line, because I think it only is going to produce about 300 branches. I don't know. it's not enough for a 480 belt. And that's kind of what I'm working with. We haven't gotten the technology for anything bigger than 480, so I'm basing everything on 480 belts. 480 coming from trees and 480 going into the constructors. Limited by the technology that we have. So this shouldn't be too much of a problem. Now the other side will be candy canes, and I'll have those over there. I'll have to do the same thing with the smelters, and I do believe, like I said at the beginning, we'll have all of the smelters right here. So this will probably be the first real pop-in, and we'll have to do a lot more Christmas trees as well. It's a good thing we're storing up quite a few branches. So give me a moment while I lay all this out and get Christmas just oozing out of this corner. Yeah, something like that. And it'll take a little while. There's a lot of yellow. I see the yellow. Yes, it's there. And it'll take a while because we're using the overflow method. So let's just take a tour of what everything looks like and how it's all going down. We have 3 sets of the trees, and this should be enough to do everything that we need to. There are 90 trees, so it should be enough gifts to get everything going. Most of the gifts come down here, get split up into the 3 different floors, and go down each 10 constructors for branches. To keep the floor clear, what I did is I just kind of inset the presents down into the floor. Now we built everything with the 4-meter foundations, which allows us to clear this space off pretty nicely. And I like the way this looks. It just goes into the floor and comes up and goes into the factories wherever they are. This one particularly is producing the candy canes. Now, as far as the candy canes go, we needed 32 machines. And to get those 32 machines, I did 10 across the bottom with 11 on the second floor and another 11 on the top. That gave us our 32 candy canes that we need according to my spreadsheet. For the red and blue ornaments, well, it's pretty much just the same. We have smelters for each of those, and as I said before, the blue ornaments, they produce a lot faster, so there's a lot less need for as many smelters there. There's only 36 machines for blue, and there's 48 for red. But all the branches and the ornaments come to these bins here. I want to keep a few just because I know I'll probably need them to build certain things. And the candy canes are stored over there. It didn't make sense to bring them all the way over here. We probably could have done it with the floor again, but it just didn't make sense to do it. So, from there, we can go and unlock whatever it is that we need to unlock next, which is the giant upgrade 2, and that'll give us our copper and iron ornaments. So let's go ahead and see what the tree looks like.
Oh, joy. The tree is fancier now. Well done. Unfortunately, you are only halfway there. More appropriate ornaments made with iron and copper can now be created in the Foundry. When I say more appropriate, I am referring to the usage of factory materials as a subtle reminder of your purpose on this planet and the fate of all of humanity resting on your shoulders, of course.
Wow. Yeah, Ada, you're totally a Scrooge. So the next set of ornaments that we need to produce are the copper and the Ficsmas ornaments. Red and copper make the gold ones, and blue and iron make the silver ones. Okay, so that shouldn't be too hard. According to my spreadsheet I've got for this, I need 24 machines of both. But that also means that I need smelters. Okay, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get the smelters and the iron going, or the copper. We have more than enough. I think we have at least 600 on the iron, and I believe 600 on the copper as well, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it would be best if we just put the smelters right here and then had the foundries over there in the corner. That way it's a nice swooping path and it still keeps the center all free of stuff. Now the foundries, I do have a blueprint that's a tight kind of formation, and we'll probably need to use that here just to give ourselves enough space in the long run to build everything else that we need out here. I also want a second floor of this, kind of like we did with the candy canes and the branches. I think it would be a good idea to have these stacked on top of each other, and all of them coming down to one location over here somewhere, and then going on to make whatever other Ficsmas stuff that we have to make. So let me get all the foundries in here and the smelters down and start making those beautiful gifts. Yeah, something like this. Now we have plenty of iron and copper coming down, all being smelted into iron ingots and copper ingots. And then those iron ingots go up, around, join up with our red and blue ornaments. And then on the other side, it's all spit out as the gold and the silver. It's feeling more and more like Ficsmas every time we turn the corner. Okay, so now with this and that should be the next things that we need in the MAM. So let's go see what Ficsmas has in store for us next. All right, so to progress, we're going to have to get those bundles of different ornaments there. Okay, so to do that, it looks like we need to get these Ficsmas lights unlocked. Well, let's start that research and see what we can do.
I am sure all the kittens and puppies and even human children would appreciate being able to see all these pretty lights. It is a shame they're all stuck on Earth, waiting for you to do your job so that they can have long and fulfilling lives.
Oh boy, Ada, you really know how to suck the fun out of everything. So I do have a little bit of snow that we created earlier so that we can get this snow dispenser. We'll go ahead and unlock that just so that, we can say Ficsmas is complete. So to progress on the Christmas tree, we're definitely going to need to get the bundles all handled. Now, according to my spreadsheet, I need 24 assemblers to make these bundles. Oh boy. So where are we going to make these bundles at? Well, I believe that I've set myself up to make them all about right here. All the gold and silver ornaments come down into these two containers, so it makes the most sense to put my 24 right here. Now, I don't think I need a second level for this one. I think I should be able to get all 24 of them kind of in a row here. I don't want to overclock anything. I think overclocking is a little bit ridiculous for Ficsmas. Now, I did go upstairs and make another new blueprint, and we're going to call this one the Bundles of Joy. Yes, that's what this is definitely going to be. Bundles of Joy. So it's a pretty simple blueprint for the assemblers. I just kind of repurposed one of the old blueprints that we have. And as we need 24 of these suckers, well, I didn't want to go through and set all that up over and over again. Yeah, that just seemed more obnoxious than Ficsmas already is. Now there's 8 of these in each of these bundles, so we're gonna kind of put these down ahead, and we'll have plenty and have to delete a few of them, as we only need 24. And just like with any project that has to do with factory building, we're gonna just hook all this stuff up and hope for the best. So that didn't really take too long. The only thing that I have left to do is to merge all the bundles together. So that shouldn't take too long. And we'll do that while they kind of construct themselves. That way I don't have to wait on it for too awful long. It's really just hook up these belts and watch and see the bundles go down the line and be made and constructed. And everything is going to be green and perfect. Right? Right, bundles? Right? And now lots and lots of bundles are being produced. Yeah, that worked out quite well. Easy peasy. So now we just need to let a few of these pile up so that we can unlock the next phase of our Ficsmas tree. I think we needed like 500 of them, so just give us a few minutes. Actually, 400 of them. But we produced 600 in no time. Totally easy. We got this. Ficsmas in the bag. So let's unlock the next tier upgrade.
The tree is prettier now, you have more parts to progress the Ficsmas event, and there are 2 new unlocks available. Now for the actually important news, Pioneer 83CKY has disabled the Ficsmas event because, quote, it's totally non-inclusive and immoral, actually. I mean, like, there's so many people, like, not having fun right now, and I feel like so bad for them, you know? Why should I have fun when other people are like counting on me to meet these super important deadlines? It's just not right, unquote. Totally agree. Now, back to work.
ECKY3? I think you mean Becky. Easy, Ada. I'm onto you. Alright, so looking back on our Ficsmas holiday event, we still need to make wreaths and we need to make bows, as well as we need to make some snow to get these last few things unlocked. So that's kind of the next order of business. We need to make the wreaths. Now, I set up a quick little dirty setup here to make bows and to make snow. And this should handle all of that. We've got sloops in it and it should make it pretty quickly. Unfortunately, it doesn't make the bows very fast, so it's going to take some time. But in the meantime, we can go ahead and make the wreaths. Now, I went upstairs again and made a blueprint for this. Yeah, we labeled those the itchy ties. Yeah, that's gonna go right here. Now, to make said itchy ties, we need all of the bundles as well as branches. So I need to give myself some space to get the branches from over where their location is over to here. Now, according to my stuff, I need 20 of these machines, so it's gonna be 3 of these blueprints all over again. We should be able to put these nice and tight right there. We'll have to delete a couple, but for the most part, this should be just fine. And just like that, we have all of the wreaths being created. So it's just, once again, kind of a waiting game. We only produce 2 a minute, so it takes a long time for these things to be created. But as far as my spreadsheet says, I only need 20 of these machines, and I think I have actually more than 20 now that I think about this. I have like 24, so yeah, we'll probably delete a few to gain ourselves a little bit of space here in front of the Ficsmas tree. I want this to be a no-fly zone. But the last thing is the assemblers for the stars. But I don't know what that entails just yet. But my plan is to have them right here. The plan is to make 8 of them. So I think I could just go ahead and set that up right here. Just put 8 assemblers down and then whatever it comes, it comes. We'll probably need the wreaths and bows? I don't know. We haven't used bows very much. We're using these ornaments. I just don't know what the other thing is. Alright, so with all of our wreaths and our bundles and bows finally completed, we can get this last of the 2 Ficsmas rewards that we have. One of them is the wreath decoration, and then the other is the Wonder Star, the thing that we need to finish the tree. So we'll go ahead and unlock that with the research.
The best idea Fixit could come up with to appreciate and reward pioneers for their hard work is a gold star. How creative, but don't worry, I understand the merits of actually meaningful appreciation. When you save the day, you will understand.
The last thing to unlock is the snowball. Now, the snowball is kind of like a obelisk in its own fashion. It's not very powerful, but we'll unlock it just the same. Okay, so while we were waiting on everything to get done, I went ahead and took the liberty of setting this up because I know it's going to be in an assembler. I just didn't know what 2 parts. I'm assuming the wreaths, but I don't know if it's bows or something else. So it looks like we're going to need the wreaths and the candy canes. Ah, that would be why I made so many of those. Now I just gotta get those all the way over here. Well, that's exciting. Anywho, with that all done, this will be the last thing, but we need 500 stars. To make all that. So let me get those candy canes from over there to here, as well as get these wreaths from over here to over there. Wreaths, not so hard. Candy canes? Well, we're gonna have to do some shenanigans when it comes to going up and under some things. Well, now the stars are being made, and we did have to refigure some belts around here. We went with the lower on the bundles, because we did have those on the roof. So we just decided to put those across the ground. That way it gave us the ability to bring the candy canes a little bit more elegantly over here. It's not pretty, but it's done. It's got quite a little hook right there. Oh well. But with that, we're going to produce 8 stars a minute. All of this for 8 stars a minute. Oh boy. Now, truly, it is just the waiting game. We're gonna sit here and watch all this Ficsmas happen and hope for the best. And we will eventually have enough stars.
A few moments later.
Well, that didn't take long at all. Man, 500 of these things. It takes forever to produce them. Well, we'll just take what we got and we will head over to the MAM and finish this Ficsmas event. 500 stars, you can have it.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Oh look, it's so shiny. You are such a wonderful person. I am sure every other human would agree. Let's call them right now. Oh no, they're not picking up. I am sure it's nothing, except... Oh, look. Earth is gone. Everyone's gone. Does that make you feel good? Fortunately for you, this was only a simulation of the possible consequences of neglecting your duties. Happy holidays.
Oh my gosh, Ada, calm down. We'll get back to factory making here soon. But there it is, the Ficsmas tree, in all its splendor and glory, with its beautiful lights and great ornaments and a giant star at the very tippity top. Yeah, it's wonderful. But that is the Ficsmas event. Now, there are other unlockables that we'll probably go ahead and take care of in the background. I believe there's fireworks and things of that nature. But we'll take care of those at a different time. And if I want to, I'll put them in its own little video. Add it on to something else. But as for now, I think that is going to be it. So if you did enjoy the video, why don't you check out the links in the description. One is for Patreon. Support on Patreon gets your name in the credits, as well as I'll name something after you in-game if I can. The other link is for Discord. Discord is free to join, and I would love to see you there as part of the community. If you've watched to this point in the video, I want to say thank you so much for all of the support. We are at 250 subscribers, and I set a personal goal a long time ago that if I got to 250, that I might start doing some live streams. If that is something that you're interested in, well, why don't you leave a comment in the comment section down below? I'd love to have your feedback on whether or not we should do it on YouTube or on Twitch. Either platform is fine for me. But don't forget, as always, the best way to support is to like and subscribe, as it does help the channel out. Hit the notification bell so you can be alerted of any time any Satisfactory or any other content gets uploaded to the page. Hit one of the buttons on the screen right now to see what else we've played, and don't forget to keep gaming for the love of games. Goodbye now.